Santa baby, just slip a sable under the tree for me. Been an awful good girl, Santa baby, so hurry down the chimney tonight.
Tonight is tonight. You got a sable coming in your chimney tonight, either one of you?
I cleared the chimney. I've got room, Santa. Come on down.
Yeah, right.
Of course, I've been so naughty this year. I just went ahead and bought my own gifts.
I've never heard it. That'd be a good quote, bumper sticker, wouldn't it? I've been so naughty this year, I bought my own gifts.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's the way it is. So, anyway, good Christmas Eve. I'm Rayford Brown.
I'm Kelly Knapp.
And I'm Lee Barris.
And welcome to the Christmas Eve edition of Live and Local Real Talk. We'll be here for the next couple of hours. You want to join us? Unfortunately, we will have some tragic stuff to talk about, but we're going to talk about some good things and memories and all that sort of good stuff. And, we'll have a grand old time. Some point in time, we'll go through it today. But first, I'm going to start out ticking off Lee.
I can't wait for this.
There are 10 beloved Christmas traditions in America.
I already know. We talked about this.
That we're going to talk about. 10 Christmas traditions in America.
All right. Traditions. Okay.
The first sentence under this story, dated today by Bob Curley. From decorated trees to Die Hard, we celebrate the holidays in many ways.
Yes.
Here we go.
And that's one of the ways. How about that? You got that? Got to see Santa Claus, of course, over the Christmas season, right?
Right.
So that's part of it.
Right.
Decorating trees part of it. Watching Die Hard is part of it. I've already watched Die Hard again.
I watch that all year long. I love Die Hard.
Okay, so you celebrate Christmas all year long then?
No, I don't watch it in. We've been over this a dozen times. In my opinion, it's not a Christmas themed movie.
But everybody else thinks it is.
No, I mean that's
gathering
y'all
for a
can
traditional Christmas dinner. We know that, right?
Right.
Dinner, lunch, call it brunch. I don't care. Let's say, and what is the number one Christmas time meal? Primary
ham?
No.
Prime rib?
No. Believe it or not, 1 month after that other turkey day, it's roast turkey.
No.
But I hear that all the time too. Hanging your Christmas stockings got to be done. I don't know what I'd wear if I hung my Christmas stockings.
I've got one for each of my animals.
And of course, watching Die Hard and the other Christmas movies. Of course, in this household and in your household and other households around the nation, I guess, watching Christmas movies is a year-round tradition, especially beginning in July.
Yes.
Then you got to go drive around. What do you drive around and do? What's a tradition that you, during Christmas season, you get out?
Looking at lights.
Yeah, that's the other one.
We do that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to go far. My neighborhood rocks it.
I just got to walk out in the front yard and look to the left or the right and cross the street. We're good to go.
It's bad enough when I come in the morning in the driveway. I am blinded by all the security strobes and beams. and all the voices coming out of the trees. Who are you? And now we add the Christmas to it.
They were on when I got here.
Yes, they're always on when I get here.
Well, not all of them.
Most of them.
Some of the lights are on.
Most of them, I would say.
Okay.
But you did a very good job.
Robbie did a great job. Now, here's one that I somehow didn't know anything about. German-American families.
Right.
They hide a pickle in their Christmas tree.
Why?
I haven't got that far yet. The person who finds it earns the right to open the first gift under a tradition known as, I can't pronounce it, is translated to Christmas Eve cucumber. This tradition, based on a fictitious German tradition, but originated in America, proves that ours is a land of good storytelling. In other words, we lie a lot. And then the other one is that little old critter.
The squirrel?
No.
That's what I hide in my Christmas tree.
No, there's another little old critter that we have to deal with.
I don't.
Welcoming the elf on the shelf.
Oh, God.
My grandson loves Elf on the Shelf.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
Girls.
My daughter is creative with Little Mr. Elf. I know he has a name. Jingle. His name is Jingle.
Yeah, there's so many people.
You have to name him. His is Collins is Jingle. Yeah. I had to think about that.
Some of the stuff, my daughter's friend is really, he does some great pictures. And some of the stuff, wow.
Well, anyway, that's the way a lot of people deal with Christmas. Certain things that they deal with. Some others will do things like don Christmas attire, and they celebrate their favorite sport. For instance, wearing a Santa hat, a Mrs. Claus skirt, as in the photograph here of guys and gals surfing. They go Christmas Day. They go surfing.
Yes,
it's a tradition.
Yes,
I used to have one New Year's Day. We would get diving, starting the new year out right.
There you go.
So, squirrel hunting in the morning and diving in the afternoon, because it was the last day of squirrel season. Was the 1st of January.
That's actually a hunting time for that.
Squirrels, yeah.
Seriously?
You didn't know that?
No. You know, I didn't know that.
That's like when
there are hunting seasons. You know,
I know there's hunting. I thought it was just like for deer only, and maybe bear or something. There's a squirrel hunting season for real?
Squirrels, rabbit, quail, bear.
I knew bear and deer. Those are two I did know.
I remember Dad and the boys used to go out squirrel hunting early in the morning while Mom was getting Christmas dinner in the oven. So
there you go.
That was a tradition back then.
Squirrel and rice is great. What?
I'll never forget when my mom made the gravy for the squirrel, and I swear the squirrel's eyeballs were floating in it. I was little at the time, but it has always left a mark.
Squirrel gravy with eyeballs in it? I don't think so.
I don't know what was in it, but it looked like an eyeball, and I'll never forget that.
All right, let's talk a little bit about Christmas too.
Okay.
And part of this is going to rely on Kelly. Christmas should be stress-free, right?
It should be.
World peace cannot be achieved. We understand. We acknowledge that, right? There is no such thing as going to have world peace ever.
It will never be a world peace. Yeah.
But in this country, with a little effort, we should be able to get along for at least one day. Leave your old arguments buried. I won't even continue that line. Don't try to do something better than someone else, reigniting an old rivalry. Ever seen people do things like that?
Yes.
One-up ones, right?
Mm-hmm.
Don't ask a recently separated or divorced family member if they've person. They don't want to talk about it.
Agreed.
Why would you
Do not discuss politics.
Hey, have you seen your ex lately?
Do not discuss politics when you arrive, during the meal, or on your way out the door. Mm-hmm. Save all biting comments until April 1st. Don't ask me why. If even this is some serious stuff now, guys. Keep in mind. If even a glass of wine is consumed, do not break out the guns. Not even to show them off to other gun lovers.
Right.
Respect. Be an idiot. I'll point out one of my favorite sayings. There is no such thing as an accident, but there are lots of situations that are caused by idiots making stupid choices.
Yes.
Okay, from our resident counselor in charge.
I agree.
Kelly, you've got some thoughts? what you should and should not do on Christmas to keep the peace. Try to keep the peace. Don't do certain things.
You mean when people are gathering?
Yeah, absolutely. Or getting on the phone or whatever.
Well, let's go with gathering because that's a face-to-face
That's what most
thing.
people do.
This, like you said, don't discuss politics, don't discuss religion,
That's the
don't discuss anything controversial in terms of like
You're getting kind of fat, aren't you?
that. I wouldn't do that, or anything that may provoke an argument, like someone's views on gender identity,
Abortion,
sexual preference,
anything.
abortion, anything like that. Steer clear of it because everyone, even in families, may not have the same opinion.
Yeah,
So you steer clear of that. And in a lot of families, there are family members. If especially when you're getting like extended family members together, there's always some that just may not like each other. Okay, so kind of be mindful of that when you're kind of figuring out who's going to sit where at the table. Don't put them side by side or even across.
Because there are generally knives involved in carving something, right?
I put no
because
knives
you are
on the
going to attempt an argument. You're just going to. So if Rayford and Lee hate each other, put Rayford on one end, Lee on the other, but not where where they can see each other. Kind of, I would suggest putting them on the same side
food fight.
because there's going to be a buffer
Maybe opposite
of
ends of
people
the table.
between. Yeah, like
Gotcha.
Rayford on this end, Lee on this end, but 4 or 5 people in the middle. I would suggest that. Another thing that, believe it or not, will cause an issue is food allergies.
Oh, yeah.
If you have someone with food allergies, be mindful, and most families do know. Don't, because that can start an argument with someone. I mean, it can, because
Sure.
food allergies can be deadly. So let's go with that. So be mindful of that.
What did you fry this turkey in?
Yeah.
Peanut oil? No, I don't. I never do that for
Yeah.
a reason.
Yeah.
Because I don't know who's going to be
Right.
eating it.
But some people just do it automatically because peanut oil cooks very fast. And that's why people use it, at a high temperature. Another thing I would suggest doing is, this sounds weird, but I've seen it come up with people, especially now, even tomorrow. This one's hard. So for some people, this won't apply, but for some it will. There's going to be quite a few football games on tomorrow, on Christmas Day.
Yep.
And some of them, depending on the team, is a big deal. We're running into it at our house with my son-in-law's team, but I have a solution. But anyway,
I do too.
plan
Turn
an
the
eating
TV on.
time around a game. So work it out as best you can. Because some people are adamant that everyone has to be, at the big dining room table and blah, blah, blah. And it can get ugly. And if you have someone that's a very diehard fan, I'm glad my team is terrible this year. They're not playing tomorrow. So
She
it
mentioned
works.
Die Hard again.
Be act a fool and yelling and screaming might scare grandma or small children or the dog or whatever. So plan accordingly. And somebody may not think that's a big deal, but if you've got a really hardcore sports fan, it is a big
rabid
deal.
person.
It's just a big deal to them. Figure out as best you can how to plan your meal. If that's going to be a hard one.
I think maybe you've got all these replay stuff. You can watch it later.
It's not the same, but I understand what you're
You
saying.
won't know the difference as long as you haven't listened to the score.
Well,
I don't like
someone's gonna know.
watching something that's been taped as far as live sports.
Yeah. Now,
It's,
Another
none of it's live
thing-
anyway.
and it sounds weird, if you are going to have some people, like families, draw names, like for Christmas gift, especially when they're bigger
Yeah.
families. Okay. That's a little easier. But when you're doing like a, red elephant gift or like, Chinese gift exchange, whatever term you want to use, where everyone brings an item, be prepared for squabbling at times if someone brings something that everybody wants and other people have crap gifts. And don't be the one to bring like the cheapest 5-cent gift. I would always suggest putting a limit, like nothing over $30 or, whatever. Recently I know of a family, they limited theirs at $200, which I thought was absolutely outrageous.
Holy crap.
And my client brought it up and they were upset. Like, I'm sorry, I wouldn't participate, or I wouldn't
be there.
I wouldn't got something that looked super cute, looked expensive. I wasn't. I don't know who set that monetary amount, but they should be fired in that family from next year picking it. But anyway, be mindful of sometimes those can be a lot of fun.
Yeah, within a family, there are those who are that are well-to-do. Then there are those who are,
Yes, struggling. Yes.
And then, the situation last year may be different than this year.
And be
I may have been
mindful.
rich last year and not so good this year.
And well, some people look at too, like, I'm talking from someone I know. One of my friends, when I was home yesterday, brought it up to them. They have a very good job, and they make a lot of money theoretically, but they own their own business, and most of their money is tied up in accounts and plus expenses and blah blah blah. But people just see the title and automatically assume, and family members are doing the same thing. Responsibility for like hosting and the food buying on them, and they're struggling this year.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So kind of I think when you're doing like a family situation, I'm not a huge fan of people bringing potluck food because you just don't know how it's cooked. I would rather cook myself personally. People have animals on their counters and they may put something in it and, somebody might be allergic to or whatever, or they use dirty utensils, their kitchen's a hot mess. I've seen some things that made me not want to participate that way, but it's hard when you've got somebody that may theoretically be financially well off and that they aren't, and they don't want to tell anybody because really, it's nobody's business, but it's, so that's something to be mindful of because it can cause a lot of stress and anxiety. So yeah, those kind of things.
I'm getting stressed out just listening to all this.
Yeah, I was doing okay with the table, but
I'm telling you, and that's a should say that's a given, but you know what, Ray?
Yeah, it's not.
It's
not. A thing at Christmas in a lot of places.
You
don't know if you've got a 1 or 2 or 3 or 5, 6 a 6-pack under your belt. Are you going to check that gun to see if it's loaded? Probably
here's the other thing.
not.
No.
If you have a family member that is either especially that's in recovery, put your alcohol up for the day.
Sure.
I mean, come on. And I don't mean keep it displayed. Put it out of, especially if they're new to recovery, because why would you just tempt? Why? Just don't do it.
Yeah. And
also, if you're going to have a big enough family gathering, I hate to say this, but I have to say it every year, lock your meds up.
Oh, that should be a given.
Should be every
just
day.
Lock up your meds.
You don't know.
You don't know.
And besides, if they're doing nothing but it's not their business.
That happened to my family.
Away, okay?
Yeah. So I would suggest.
Now, the way to do in your medicine cabinet, you know how to do that?
What do you mean?
To make sure people don't open this cabinet, you put a big spring in there. So when it opens up, if anybody opens it, everything comes shooting out at them.
Yeah, but that could be messy, breaking, etc.
I mean, you put junk in there.
Oh, okay.
Just to say you shouldn't be going into
well, that's
here,
true. You shouldn't. Yeah.
How many people do that, though? Do you ever stop and think about it? How many people, when they go into somebody else's house and they're in the bathroom, they just have to take a peek in the
I would never.
I always put cameras in the bathroom here. I always know.
I've never done it.
I would not want to do it. I mean, it's me.
Heavens,
but
no.
I guess it's because, I don't know, maybe my job, because I hear so much, I'm not that intrigued.
They'd be able to tell on my face as soon as I walked back in the living room. I would have such a guilt look on my face. They'd go, "You were in my medicine cabinet."
Okay, so what about you? What kind of recommendations do you have for Christmas, for big gatherings or small gatherings or whatever?
Just have fun, have a peaceful time, love each other. I've had a lot of large gatherings at my house, family, and I try to take into mind like this family right here, not like certain entrees. So I try to cook something that everybody can enjoy, have refreshments, drinks for everyone. I don't do alcohol in the house. I completely have no alcohol in my house. I will never have alcohol in my house again because I have family members that have gone for treatment, and so that's I don't do that. Yes, and we don't talk politics. We don't talk conspiracy theories. We don't talk about a lot. We just
how about aliens? Is that okay?
Oh yeah, sure. Why not? That's fun.
I don't recommend that
you got
one
some
either.
of those?
I've got
in a fun way.
Some major theories.
So if you put a roll of tinfoil out there, you can figure out.
Do it.
I wouldn't do that. Okay.
We've talked about aliens in a fun way, but nothing serious. But we just enjoy our time together. We talk about old We do not get into any conversations. There's conflict, or there somebody may go crazy over a different opinion. We've never had that problem.
Well, good for you.
We just all
You're
get
lucky.
together and have a great
Y'all are
time.
missing the number one item
What is it?
that really gripes me.
Let's
What's
hear
that?
it. I don't know. Oh, the cell phone.
Just-
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Well, see,
Needs
to
to
me,
be
that's a
checked.
given. I have that rule, but
Should be checked at the door.
Yeah, I agree. 100%.
It
That and
doesn't bother
tablets
me.
for the little kids, unless you're trying to keep them entertained, and then
Well,
it's all go.
during
Yeah.
the dinner time. When
Yeah.
you're eating.
Yes, when you're eating. No cell phones.
No cell
That's my
phones.
rule at the dine. They know.
That doesn't bother me because I was always the one child in the family that if the parent had an issue, I was the one that answered the phone, nobody else. Growing up, and that just went on through the years to when my dad passed and my mom passed. If they needed help with something, I had my phone on all the time, 24/7 next to my bed. I don't care what time it was. If there was an emergency, I went. Same
Well-
thing when I worked with the Postal Service. When the alarm went off at 2:00 in the morning,
Yeah.
or JPD calls me and said, "We'd like to use your scales to weigh a drug bust." I'm like, really? I was the one that always went. So
Buy
that's
your own scales. My God.
yeah,
You
right.
should have some.
Well, I'll tell that story another time. But and then so I was always the one to answer the phone. I was always the one to go take care of it.
Sure.
And now that I have grandchildren, it's twice as bad because I'm so scared. Like there's been times where Pender County has called me because they can't get hold of parents.
Well, I'm talking about
He
at
means
Christmas.
sitting
At
out at the
Christmas.
And
dinner
I still
table,
do it.
sitting
I
there
don't sit-
scrolling on Facebook and
I
looking
don't.
at
I don't
TikTok
sit on the phone,
videos.
but I would
No.
never tell people to put their phones up.
Well, Rayford's talking about when you've got, especially
Y'all
young
stress
they're
me out. I'm
TikToking.
stressed.
Yes.
Yeah, I know what you're
I know
talking
what
about.
you-
Yeah.
But and of course, I lived the life too for so long.
Yes, yeah.
Especially 3.5 years, I didn't have a cell phone in the days, but a pager.
Yeah.
I mean,
And,
I had a pager
When
once.
get a call, because unfortunately, crime does not stop on Christmas Day.
No, it does not.
Unfortunately, really unfortunately, it's quite rampant sometimes on Christmas Day.
And we'll hear the stories late tonight or tomorrow.
We
where
will.
Somebody got shot, got in an argument.
In all seriousness, we discuss enough on this show most days about things going bad decisions made that end up in disaster. We hear about those all the time,
yeah.
right? Of
Yeah.
course, the political world, as some know it, is in an upheaval. What some think will be a wonderful new beginning, others fear to venture outside. For a couple hundred years, every 4 or 8 years, we've seen a new president take over. Being of an advanced age, that's me, I remember hearing from my parents, especially my dad, how bad or great things were going to be, depending upon who the new president was going to be. I tried to follow along even as a kid and remember his fears as the year went by. Naturally, my ability to recall everything he said was flawed, perhaps because he kind of changed his mind as the year unfolded. In most cases, regardless of his early on fears, everything turned out just fine. If you want to have a little fun, here's a suggestion for you. I bet Dr. Rose would love this one.
Oh, did you?
Make some notes in writing over the coming week or two, describing how your family members, your friends, your coworkers, how they think 2025 is going to turn out. Make sure to put a date on those comments. You don't ask them specifically so you can write it down in front of them, just in general conversations or when you overhear them talking to other people, how they think, oh my God, this is going to be the year that the earth blows up. We're going to completely go away. Russia's going to take over. Write this kind of stuff down. As the year goes by, with a list of perhaps a half dozen common topics that were discussed, jot some down of the headlines that are happening at the time. And include the dates on those alongside the particular topic of the day. If it's the president, how bad he's going to do, how great he's going to do. And as things happen during the coming year, you write the headlines down, you see what's going on, you jot them down on a piece of paper with that particular topic. At a family gathering in a year, compile everything you've written down and have copies and give them to everybody that was involved. 10 to 1, they'll find it funny. It was all get out. Can you imagine? Hey, here's what you thought was going to happen back in January or in December at Christmas time. And look what really happened. That's what would be fun to do. Okie dokie now. The Marine Forecast brought to you by Community Prevention Services of Jacksonville. Christmas is the time for us to come together to celebrate the birth of Christ, a time of joy, a time to reflect back on the good things we enjoy, a time to be thankful for our health, our families, and our friends. As we know, that's the goal, and it's unfortunate that too many of us are lost in our everyday worlds, unsure of the present or the future. If you're one of those, unsure how you're going to deal with tomorrow, next week, or next year, there's help out there. People who can help with what you may see as a dead end. The counselors at Community Prevention Services Center, at Community Prevention Services of Jacksonville, God, get that right, are professional. They have extensive training, a lot of experience in the field. That's most important. They have a sincere desire to help you. You can feel confident that your conversations will never be revealed. You might want to know that the Community Prevention Services accepts most insurance plans as well. There should be comfort in knowing that this is a locally owned and operated facility. That would be important to me. No out-of-town ownership or board of directors. Everything is located in Jacksonville, a brick-and-mortar place, 918 Henderson Drive. That, too, should give you a peace of mind. Not having to travel to Raleigh, Asheville, Greensboro, Wilmington. You don't got to go anywhere. Everything is right here at your fingertips in Jacksonville. Give them a call to set up a time to meet. Community Prevention Services, 910-353-0972. That's 910-353-0972. How long are you open? What are your hours for this week?
We're closed this week.
All week?
Yeah.
Okay, how about next week?
We're going to be open Monday and Tuesday and then close the rest of that week.
Okay, so they'll be open next Monday and Tuesday. Answering machine on,
Yes,
so you can leave a message,
correct.
and then they'll get stuff set up for you.
Mm-hmm.
A weak area of low pressure will develop and move along the North Carolina coast this Christmas Eve, bringing rain and deteriorating marine conditions.
Yep.
High pressure then rebuilds into the area through the remainder of the week. Offshore out to 20 nautical miles, small craft advisory in effect from tonight, right now through Wednesday afternoon. Wow. Northerly winds 15 to 20 knots, increasing to 20 to 25 this afternoon. Gusts up to 30 knots, seas 3 to 4 feet, building to 4 to 6 later today. Near shore, seas 2 to 3, but the inlet will be on the gnarly side. Don't go. Sounds and rivers choppy, becoming rough in the afternoon. Patchy fog developing this afternoon. Santa's going to turn Rudolph's nose on for sure. Tomorrow, northerly winds 15 to 20 knots with gusts to 25, seas 4 to 6 feet, 3 to 4 near shore. Sounds and rivers choppy. Tomorrow, Thursday, northerly winds 10 to 15, seas 3 to 4, 2 to 3 near shore. Sounds and rivers a moderate chop.
Today, rain mainly, according to this, between 9 a.m. and 1 p.m. The high will be 47. It's 80% chance. So this doesn't look like it's doing anything right now. It's
Not yet.
chilly. Tonight, mostly cloudy with a low of 32. Now, beware if this rain time changes
Don't even think about it.
tonight.
Hush.
It could just freeze them to the roads. Could be icy. Just saying. That's all I'm gonna say. Tomorrow, sunny, high of 55, and a little bit of windy, 8 to 11 miles an hour with 17-mile-an-hour gusts. I'm over that. So I'm blowing my deer over in my yard constantly. I'm
Drive
over
them
it.
down.
That's why I'm parked
Yeah.
further
Yeah,
back
'cause
because of the
his-
windmill.
Yeah.
Oh, I've staked that thing
Oh,
down.
did you?
Oh, yes.
Oh,
I need
okay.
mine done. And then tomorrow night, Christmas
You got
Day
Robin.
night. I don't know what, I guess that's called Christmas Day night. It'll be partly cloudy, low of 30. Thursday, sunny, high of 56. Thursday night,
This is
clear, low
killing
of
me.
33. And Friday warms up a little bit. It'll be good old 62.
It'll be summertime.
Wednesday, Christmas Day night.
Yeah, Christmas Day night.
She's killing me. Is there eggnog in that?
No, it's this water.
Oh, my.
Christmas
Where did
Day
you get
night.
that water?
Christmas Day. No, it's this water.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, Rayford, you were talking about the seas being rough, et cetera, et cetera. Don't go out.
Uh-huh.
Did you know just recently, Saturday in Pamlico County, they found the body of a boater who'd gone out on his boat and fallen off the boat.
Well, that's very sad.
And yes.
All right, I'm going to do the announcement now that
Okay.
I have to do regularly. Water temperature is pretty chilly. It's
Yes.
not freezing. It's not 30 degrees. It's not
Right.
even 45 degrees, but it's cold. It does not take very long if you, particularly when you're alone on a boat, or if you've got somebody else on the boat with you and you fall overboard, water temperature of 50, 55 degrees even will zap your energy very quickly. You will become immobile soon. You won't be able to use your arms. You will not die of hypothermia. You will drown. If you cannot get
True.
back into the boat,
True.
you will drown, because when you stop being able to move around, you sink. When you sink, you suck in water. I just hate to put it bluntly. Duck hunters, if you're going to be on the water, wear a personal flotation device. You can get
Take
those things that
somebody with
inflate.
you.
Well, always do that.
Yes.
But you can have a personal flotation device. You think, oh, they're in the way. Well, maybe, but get one that inflates automatically when it hits water. Duh.
Right.
If you fall overboard and your vest inflates, or you're wearing a vest and you fall into the water, your head will stay above water. You might not be able to move very well, but you're able to breathe. The chances are greatly increased that someone will get to you if they see you fall over. If you're somebody in the boat, they can get turned around. They can get hold of you before you die. All right? That's the point. Hypothermia almost never kills anyone in the water. They drown when they can't swim or move. How's that?
Good
Hate to be
point.
blunt about it, but that's the way it is, y'all.
Look what happened to the people from the Titanic.
Yep. And that's, we've had it right here. We had a duck hunter over Thanksgiving, Mr. Merle,
Yes.
back in the 50s or early 60s or whenever. He fell in the water and they found his body. It took like 3 weeks.
Well, this one, evidently, this gentleman had gone alone. And
That happens.
wee
Why
hours of the
would you
morning.
go out on a boat alone? Just don't do it.
In the wee hours of the morning, sometime is when somebody notified authorities that he had not returned from his trip, and
Yeah.
they have determined that he fell over, and they were able to recover his body. It was a 56-year-old William Foster out of Washington. So condolences to the family, but
Yep.
and by early evening tonight, we're going to be hearing all sorts of stories
will.
around the nation. People going crazy again. As usual.
A tragic thing at 11 o'clock yesterday in Greensboro.
Yep.
They got a call, a man with a gun at a food line.
Mm-hmm.
Why the man was at a food line in Greensboro with a gun? Was he just, the report said a man with a gun.
Right.
There was a police officer responding, Coast Guard, 18 years with the Coast Guard, veteran, received awards, saved people's lives.
He'd been with Greensboro PD since 2018 also. So
he was a
Yes.
veteran of the police department. He
Yes.
responded. And he was shot and killed.
And according to what I'm reading here, he didn't even have a chance to draw his gun.
yeah,
It
they're
happened.
saying
The
it was
guy
a
attacked him.
yeah.
It was so quick.
Yeah. And, you unfortunately, he had 18 years in the Coast Guard. So, he had some age on him, right?
Right.
At least 38, you would think, 36.
Yeah, I'd say he was probably in his 50s.
When he got out of the Coast Guard.
Right.
And then he's been with the police department for 8 years.
And still in active reserve with the Coast Guard.
Uh-huh.
And that's the food line my brother shops at a lot.
And then he's there and he responds. And if he had gone in there with his gun in his hand,
And it was very busy at the time, full of customers.
people would have said, look at that cop. He's got his gun. How dangerous is he? Just like they do when they see a police officer responding with lights and siren to a call and say he's running too fast. I've heard that so many times. Heard it recently, within the last year or so. That guy was running 90 miles an hour here on Old Bridge Street.
Yeah.
No, he wasn't. First of all, you couldn't even tell speed if you were looking at it. But we hear complaints like that. You don't know what the guy's responding to. Officer needs help.
Yeah,
A
and
kid's been hurt.
He can't go running in the building with a gun in his hand.
Why not?
Yes,
He can. He should.
Well,
But they don't do it.
right.
They don't do it.
That's right.
The guy was taken into custody.
He was found on 40.
Well, that was Greensboro, but he drove, he left.
Yeah, that happened in
Yes.
Greensboro.
And you got caught up.
Yes, I did.
And he got caught at the San County line.
Right at exit 360.
Yeah, 360. I know, right? I just came by there not long
Because the
ago.
road was shut down at 355.
Yeah, we came by there not long ago, Rayford.
And Highway
Yeah, I
Patrol
guess we
pitted
did.
him. They did a pit maneuver on him.
We're good.
Good on
I'm
Highway
glad
Patrol.
somebody left it up to the patrol to do what the patrol is
Yes.
trained
Well,
to do.
Yeah.
Johnson County and Sampson County sheriffs were chasing him.
Yes.
Highway Patrol got involved, which, of course,
Yes,
they
they
said there was a lot of law
goodness.
Oh,
enforcement.
I'm sure there were.
And then right at exit 360, they did a pit maneuver on him. But the road had already been closed, apparently, right around that
a chunk
time.
of I-40 was locked down. You were
Completely
you were
shut. I
part of
sat
that.
in it for an hour and a half till we had to get off at exit 355 and maneuver our way
Should have
in
had
the
a Jeep.
dark down. Thank goodness for
Yep. Four-wheel
navigation
drive.
in your car. We went through Faison and then came up through Warsaw and
Faison.
Kenansville.
I
Yeah,
love facing.
yeah.
Well, some little bits of facts about this officer. He was still working as a reserve Coast Guard officer, and he was attached to Fort Macon.
Yep.
You know
He's a
that very
he's a
well.
local boy.
And then back several years ago, he received a medal for saving the life of a father and his son caught in a riptide at Emerald
Yeah,
Isle.
rip currents. Yeah.
See how close it all ties into all the
it's
communities?
all there. I mean,
And he was also on an elite team for the Coast Guard, which he trained in California for, some type of elite team. And I cannot remember
search
the
and
details.
recovery, probably
that-
a swimmer.
It was something to
The-
do with ships and stuff carrying illegal drugs, cargoes.
okay.
It was some kind of elite team. It was almost, but it was with the Coast Guard. But he had, and yesterday I watched the news conference, and it was all his commanding officers and the mayor could do from actually breaking down.
Oh,
It
yeah,
was
absolutely.
so sad to watch.
Such
It
a
hurt.
loss, a ridiculous waste
Yes,
of life.
yes.
Mhm.
My one low life excuse for a human being. I
I
don't have a name on
agree.
him yet, so I haven't run his
Yes,
record.
yeah. I checked again this morning. I did see a picture of him. I did see the video where they were hauling him away yesterday,
Yeah.
where they got him out of the car because they were showing live on
Yep.
from
Anyway,
helicopter. One of the
it was keep the families and your prayers, your
2
thoughts.
days before Christmas.
Yep.
He had children, married, and his friends and coworkers. It's
Yeah.
so sad story.
They
like
say that the first responders did a big, some kind of processional last night.
Oh,
I don't know
yeah.
Sure.
from
Yeah,
where.
that's
Yeah.
pretty
The way it
normal
works.
for them
Yeah.
to do that. Yes.
All right, Christmas time is here. Unfortunately, we have tragic events, but it's time
Tragic.
for us to celebrate the birth of Christ. We all know that.
Yes.
For a lot of us, it's time to celebrate with family. We've discussed that. Whether your family is here or they're halfway across the country, you can still celebrate the season for all the right reasons. One thing about celebrating is celebrating with food, good food. Anybody disagree with that one?
No.
At Jacksonville's only waterfront restaurant, Marina Cafe is happy to help you have fun on this joyous of occasions. It's where the locals can break bread with the wonderful men and women of the armed forces, those heroes. They may be a little too far from home to get a good, great meal. Mama's not going to be cooking for you. But you can rest assured that while it might not be mom's home cooking, the folks at Captain Bob Beck's Marina Cafe will prepare a meal you'll not be forgetting.
I'm going this weekend.
Remember, there are no strangers at Marina Cafe, whether it's your first visit or you are a regular there. Everyone is welcome. Stop in. It's casual. Have a chat with Joe Jack while you're there. He's the resident parrot. Stroll the waterfront while you're there if you want to take a little look-see. After the first time you're there, you're sure to return. It's warm. It's nice there. People welcome you. Captain Bob Beck's Marina Cafe, alongside the bridge on Marine Boulevard in downtown Jacksonville. And to all of y'all, You can get a gift certificate today, by the way. They're open today. They'll be open tomorrow, Christmas Day, beginning at 4:30.
Very good.
From 4:30
Oh, really?
on, yeah. You want to go after Christmas, everything else, and just go take a look-see and meet some old friends and make some new friends.
See Joe Jack.
Yep.
See if I can just entice him to the water.
From Captain Bob Beck's friendly crew there.
Yes.
Merry Christmas to all.
Good people. Good people.
Okay.
I just want that warm shrimp plate that I had the last night. It was so good.
Their shrimp burgers are good.
Oh, yeah.
Their clam chowder is. Yep.
Very good. Go
And
ahead.
ask about their mahi sandwiches, blackened mahi, or a tuna sandwich. And it's
that
not tuna
sounds
fish
good.
from a can. It's
No,
a tuna
no.
burger sandwich.
Dude, tuna.
I'm not sure what that stuff is in a can, but anyway, whatever.
Well,
Okay, dokie. Let's see what else we got cooking.
there's not some good news, and I have something I want to say. And
Okay.
I don't know if I'm going to be unpopular with this or not.
Here we go again. We might
Okay,
have-
so we've
we
all
might
heard
have to turn the heat down.
there's two. Yeah,
It's,
there's-
80, it's 82 in here
oh,
now.
yeah,
I
you
can
turn
do
it down.
that.
Maybe we ought to warm up the outside.
So we heard the terrible, terrible story of the scum of the earth, low life, piece of trash that set the woman on fire on the
Oh,
train
yes.
in New York. And
Yes.
remind you, he was here illegally. He'd left the country. They'd been deported once, and he came back. Like,
Yep.
why is that a shock to anybody?
Not a shock.
Okay. I think the United States should have what I call instant death penalty. When you cause or commit this type of crime, and they knew it was him. He's on video watching her burn, no less.
I know. Sitting on
Instant
the bench
death
outside
penalty.
while she's standing in the
Yeah.
car burning.
There should be what is
horrible.
called the instant death penalty, like they used to do in the Old West. Well, they wait a couple hours, but I'd say let's find semi-instant death penalty. You got 6 hours to round them up, and then death penalty them, and let's just be done with it. This is one of those cases, I think. This guy, but this right here, you want to talk about, everyone talking about how,
He's going to be a troubled individual.
but he's,
Then we will deport him.
we already did. He came back.
Yeah. So you want my solution to that?
Bullet to the brain. Let's just keep going. Come on.
When we deport them, before they are put on the train to leave, we tattoo a bullseye on their foreheads.
Mhm.
For the low life is when they are that bad that we have to them, and we know that they're bad people, that we certainly will fear if they come back in this country. We put a bullseye tattoo on their forehead. That way, any person in this country who sees them in this country, fair game.
We don't know who this woman was, and it doesn't
Doesn't
really
matter.
matter. She was sitting on a train just trying to live her life, get to her wherever her
Or
destination was.
lighter fluid on her
And
Oh, he just walked up with a
heinousness.
lighter.
and kept his cigarette lighter.
then he watched her. That's how you know how sick and callous and inhumane this guy is.
So you're saying that as a counselor, he would be insane.
No, I
He's
would say
evil.
psychopathic, sociopath, or complete psychopath.
Well, Kelly, like
doesn't
I'm
make
sure
you-
you saw it too, is after he lit her on fire, he walked off the subway train,
and sat down
on a bench and watched her burn.
Yeah,
he just sat on the bench
and that's where
watching
I
her.
think
Yes.
there's just to being a psychopathic individual.
Somebody should have shot him
I
right
mean,
then and there. Wow.
That and then so that made me mad, and I just think there should be it. But then was President Biden's. He is really trying to go down in history as the worst president ever.
He's already
I think he
reached that level.
solidified that. But his,
Hardness.
commuting those sentences.
These are
That-
people who have committed murder.
12-year-old girl.
That little 9 and 8-year-old that guy raped,
Raped
and
and
killed.
then murdered.
Yeah,
Mhm.
And then went on to kill
Another girl who
Navy,
had
was it a sailor?
yes, a 20-year-old Navy woman. Yes, I mean that scum of the earth is his sentence got commuted, and then the little girl, another girl that was 9, who had to watch the guy kill her, whoever the other guy was, kill her mother first, and then killed her.
Uh-huh.
There was he commuted a sentence of a guy that killed a police officer.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot. And I mean, I'm surprised he didn't go ahead because he already pardoned 37 or commuted 37 of the 40. I am shocked he didn't go ahead and do the other 3, which was Dzhokhar Tsarnaev with Boston Bomber,
Right.
Still has
little
time.
Dylan Roof,
Right.
and then that
Mhm.
third guy. There was another
Forgot
guy.
his name. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm surprised he didn't. But what really got me was the statement by the Biden administration that the death penalty is inhumane. I mean, I actually choked on my
And
food
that's
when
why
I
he
heard
did
it.
the pardons. Right.
And to that I say,
He used his the excuse was as a public defender.
Yeah.
I saw how
Yeah.
inhumane this was. or
let me
words
tell
to
you
that
something.
effect.
What was inhumane about a little 8 and 9-year-old girl being raped and killed? Tell me, how's that not inhumane? Okay.
Mhm.
You know, I don't care about the scum of the earth. Not one of any shred of love in my, there is none for any of those 37 people,
Mhm.
but especially the ones that killed those kids. None. They should not have been pardoned. Shame on Biden. Shame on the White House. Shame on anybody that thought that was a good idea. I don't care
Okay.
who you are.
He
If the
said
Pope
the-
wanted it, shame on the Pope.
It was reported,
Mm-hmm.
true or not, I don't know. We already know how to think about the media these days, even less than before.
Mm-hmm.
It was reported that the White House said that Biden was afraid that as soon as Trump took office, he was going to start executing those people on death row.
As
Come
he
on, it
should.
doesn't work that way though.
Yes, it does.
Yes, and it needs
No,
to.
I mean what I mean is,
Let's go.
as far as
Let's get a
execution,
committee.
you get somebody that's on death row, and it just takes years and
But
years.
it
You got to
should
go
not
for all
take
the
years.
Well,
I agree with that
here's-
100%.
Here's what occurred. Biden stopped all death penalty
Right.
cases.
Yes, he did.
The actual sentencing.
because
Once he took office, and
that's
he thinks Trump will open the door.
because that's the
open the gas
left
chamber and let 'em
leaning.
ride.
Let's do it.
No
Let's-
problem with
And
that.
I want to know how many Democrats out here think that is a
That's
His-
what I'm
what he
saying.
commuted-
It's the
Okay,
left
well,
leaning
here's what
side
Here's what
of
they're
it.
going to say. They're going to suffer a lot more in prison because they're going to be given life without the possibility of parole. Life, my turn, right?
Go right ahead.
Life without parole is a real thing today.
Mhm.
The death penalty was a real thing until a Supreme Court decision in the 1970s abolished the sentence as it was handed down all across the country. All sentences were commuted to life without the possibility of parole. I think it was just life in those days. What happens to these 37 hardened criminals, these murdering scums, if in 8, maybe 12 years, when there's a ruling from the Supreme Court that says a majority of the liberal justices are there and they say life without parole is cruel and unusual punishment,
Oh, don't start.
that the inmates so sentenced have nothing to look forward to, no possibilities. Yes, folks, that's possible. In the 1970s, a man, after his first trial for murdering a woman, he used as a hostage in the here in Jacksonville. The same man killed another woman and 2 teenage girls that same year before he got caught, of course, all within 7 months. He finally died in prison of old age about 15 years ago. Natural causes, they said. The Supreme Court did not consider the families of the victims. The Supreme Court never considers the families of the victims of any of those whose sentences were commuted to life back in the 1970s. That's not their thing. The possibilities are realities, and that we should keep in mind.
Well, and I don't want to hear about cruel and inhumane to these killers. Let me tell you how many cares I give. 0, -0, no less.
Mhm.
Okay. The cruel and inhumane came in with the way most of these people killed their victims. I don't care. Once they committed those crimes, in my opinion, they have no rights. None
Oh, they don't have no
whatsoever.
rights.
None. And as a tax-paying citizen, I don't want to fund their living their best life in prison, pen pals, and because some of them have that.
And get married.
and get to watch YouTube. What about the little 8, 9-year-old girls who they can never watch YouTube again? They can
How
never
about their
get
families
married,
of those-
have children. Like I said, there should be something called an instant death penalty. Let's do it.
Well,
There should be
I agree with you on most all of it, but this is where we run into so many things. Like in the state of North Carolina, you've got so many religious organizations that are arguing about, is it right to take I know what you're going to say, and I agree with y'all. But that's what the biggest holdup is. When you have somebody on death row and they sit on death row for 10 years, 12 years,
should be
13
sitting on
years.
death row that long.
I agree, but you've got all these courts, you've got all these arguments.
There is an automatic appeal
ridiculous.
for all death penalties.
That's
okay,
right.
there's an automatic appeal.
And it
It's
can go for
they're
years.
always reviewed. No, it
There
does
should
not
be
have
a
to go
time
on for
limit,
review.
But
It can be done in
does.
6 months. Okay,
I agree.
It
the
does.
automatic can be done in 6 months.
It
But
can.
then the lawyers will continue, and then they
Mhm.
get a new team of lawyers, and they will add new. Oh, that
Well,
drug! Did you see the way that last person
yes,
died on
that's
death
what I'm
row, and how
talking about. It could take
unusual and
years.
cruel and inhumane that death was? Well, good. Here's my solution to that.
I say you ought to kill them the way they kill their victim. That's my opinion. But
Here's the way it should be done. It's been ruled time and again
Mhm.
that a firing squad is not cruel and unusual punishment. Okay? It's been ruled by the Supreme Court.
Mhm.
It's been there. It's upheld. Every state with the death penalty should adopt the firing squad as its primary method of executing people. Got it? No problem with that. And then let the person, the intended, choose between that. And he says, I'm too fat to fit in a cell, or I'm too fat to sit on a chair, or I don't have good veins to get an IV in me. Well, good.
Mhm.
The bullet will take care of that.
That's like what Kohlberger's arguing right now.
That 30-30 carbine will take care of that issue.
Well,
Every time, 6 of those 7
get
bullets, 6
prepared
7
for
people.
the Maggione trial. Maggione.
Mangione.
Yeah, Maggione. Get prepared for that one because actually they
I'm afraid of
televised
that.
it from the New York.
I'm afraid
courts.
that I'm just going to get involved in that
There's
one.
2 different. The federal government is charging
Yeah, I
and the
know.
state. And yesterday he was at the state courts and they were doing hearings on writs and stuff.
The state court is screwed up, so they ought to back
But
away
let
from
me
their
tell you
charges.
what, the female
Yeah.
prosecutor, she's doing what she needs to do because she's defending her client, as far as even putting her hand on his shoulder saying, this young man has not been treated fairly.
Then take him home with you,
you
and
know.
fix him a dinner
Well,
and tuck him
She's
in
already
tonight.
putting
know
the
how that works
argument
out for
out
you.
there. It's like when he did the perp walk, coming down, the sidewalk, going to the jail, and they had so many armed guards with huge weapons. They had, even the mayor was behind.
That's him.
She said there is no reason whatsoever that they should have made such a spectacle out of it, and that harms his case. I mean, she's doing all the things she's supposed to be doing, but I can tell you already, and right now they're arguing over writs because the federal government says, no, he's going to stay in our custody. So every time the state is going to be allowed to do their case first, but every time the state needs him to appear in court, they have to do a writ, bring him back down. And so all that's being argued right now. And the judge had previously signed an order that he stay in federal custody.
Mhm.
But so the state's trying to get him in their custody until they get that case over with. But it was interesting, the arguments that his female, and what was weird, and a lot of people were commenting on it. The defendant and the prosecutor, the defense attorney, they were both wearing white shirts with open collars and burgundy sweaters. So people were like, why is the attorney and him dressed just alike? I don't think it was intended, but I'm going to wait and see what happens next. But there were so many people commenting on that. It's crazy.
I'd be wanting to wear a shirt and
I put them in stripes.
on the front and the back that says, I am not Mangione.
Yeah. Well, Mangione, let me tell you, and he sat there and he kept looking up at his attorney, with this admiration. And she's like putting her hand. So she's doing what it takes to make him look like he's not evil.
To whom?
Uh,
That's only going to count in front of a jury.
This
The rest
was
of us don't care.
televised.
We know what he is.
And she's trying to make it out like he's a victim now because of the way the press has gone after him and media's gone after him. And he has to have, like, even in the court yesterday, he had like 5 police officers standing like from him, just looking down at him. And she's using that to
make
make it look
bad
like
guys in courtroom jump up and
I
attack
don't
the
have
judge?
a problem with it. I
The
think
judge
he
may
should
have
have
ordered
been.
that.
I think he should have been chained into chairs, my opinion. But yeah, this is going to be interesting what comes out of this to make him look like a victim.
An El Salvadoran illegal immigrant wanted for sexually assaulting a child has been arrested by U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement after a local sheriff's office ignored a detainer to hold him. ICE said its enforcement and removal operations Boston unit arrested 55-year-old Hugo Israel Ruiz on December 17th on felony charges of indecent assault and battery on a child under the age of 14. He was 55. Did you hear that part? Adding that he remains in custody, immigration and criminal proceedings. The Revere Police Department arrested Ruiz on the 22nd of August, and his hearing was held at the Chelsea District Court. The court allowed Ruiz to be released from the Nassau Street City Jail on bail, despite an immigration detainer requesting ICE be notified of his release. But the sheriff's office that operates the jail ignored the detainer, releasing Ruiz into the public without notifying ICE. The latest arrest comes as Massachusetts Governor Maura Healey has said that her state police will absolutely not be cooperating with the expected mass deportation effort by the incoming Trump administration, warning that she will use every tool in the toolbox to protect residents in the blue state. If those residents are illegals and the feds come to get them, and she uses whatever tool she thinks she's got in her toolbox, she could go to jail. The feds could take her away in cuffs. That would be good. President-elect Trump has pledged to launch the largest domestic deportation operation in American history to deport millions of illegal immigrants. What's wrong with that? One immigration studies estimated 50,000 migrants state in Massachusetts since 2021. They got 50,000 people there, illegals there in Massachusetts. Last year, the governor, declared a state of emergency in the state due to the surge and called for federal action. Well, the feds have got it. Mm-hmm. She also acknowledged that the state's policies may be a draw for migrants. I'm not going to turn to the federal government, so come on down. And now she declares a state of emergency because they came on down. Well, stupid
right back.
are these people?
I have a family member. Well, they don't right now, but they in Massachusetts worked for DSS, and they would not at their DSS. There, in the North Boston area. One, when they went in to interview, like, let's say that, back, things are a little bit differently now. But even back then, because there is a very big Hispanic population in the Lawrence, Massachusetts area, Lowell, Massachusetts, that thing. When they would come in, people would come in like for food stamps or what they used to be called, when you would get your check.
Welfare check.
Yeah, welfare check. They don't call it that now, but then the rooms that they would have them to come in to do their paperwork on would not have doors because some of them would get violent. But she would never wear her jewelry to her wedding ring, nothing to work for fear of getting attacked either in the room or followed when it was time to go home at 5:00. Yeah. And would carry very minimum, hardly ever carried a purse, key in pocket out to the car, boom. Yeah, for that reason, because even then they would have a lot of violent, a lot of them would be here illegally. And even then they were coming in, there were a lot of criminals coming in then. And I'm not saying everybody is, that's not what I'm saying. But Massachusetts has historically had an issue
Yeah.
It doesn't appear to have gotten any better.
Yeah.
Why would you get so doggone cold there? No, but hey.
I don't know. It's becoming overwhelming, irritating, and it's Christmas.
Well, Lee just sent me a story. Another
Because it's
reason
her
why
favorite airline.
y'all know I don't like American Airlines. And for those that don't know why, they left us stranded for 3.5 days in New York quite a few years ago. And
That was due to the weather.
no, it was not. It was July.
Well, it could be hot.
No,
air conditioner
because they
broke.
are awful. But anyway, they, as of today, now this is why I would never fly on Christmas Eve
I
or
thought of
right
you
before
as soon as I
Thanksgiving.
saw this.
That's for sure.
They have done a for every single flight in the United States today
American Airlines.
because
Well,
American Airlines, because they're experiencing a technical issue.
They grounded every
Because
single flight.
every flight in the United States is
As
now grounded.
long as it doesn't affect me going shopping today,
I
to
know
do all my
Kelly,
Christmas
yeah.
shopping
You could go to
today.
the airport, one of these big ones, and just set up a booth.
Mhm.
You would make some good money
I would
today.
probably make a lot of money because
Because
this right here will make this will make people
people-
fight. But this is why you, unless you absolutely have to, you do not fly the day before
No.
holiday for this reason.
I know
There's a
there's
whole bunch of
some
reasons.
people that have no choice, but
But American
all you
Airlines will
need-
leave you stranded even in the summertime.
one storm.
No.
Well,
You gonna miss-
this was technical, and it was on one plane, I think, and they have they're checking all the planes.
They probably watch Santa just zoom
If they
right by
say
them
it
while
is
they're
a some kind of a like computerized issue
Mhm.
to with their saying, so no one can fly. I don't know what that
I flew
even
the
means.
day after Christmas in 1999, and I went to Bonaire, is the way it's pronounced. I found out
Mhm.
after all these years. I went to Bonaire the day after Christmas. Of course, I had other days where I could have gone.
Mhm.
But you know what the interesting thing about all that was? You remember what happened in that year, 1999? What the big fear was that was going to go in?
Yeah, Y2K.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And all people kept saying, "Well, my God, what happens? What happens when you get down there? What and we change into another century." I said, "The only computer I've got is a dive computer, and I don't have to have that to dive."
Well, Rayford will just find a boat and boat his way back. I mean,
No,
I
no,
don't
no,
need
no,
to
no,
worry
no.
about that.
Coming back? What do you mean come back?
Oh, well, you'd stay
I
down
just
there and
stay there.
live your life.
They
Yeah.
couldn't get anybody else down there. They couldn't
Yeah.
send anybody out. I
So
just
you'd be
stayed
like,
there. Not a
"Woohoo."
big deal.
Yeah.
I had it worked out there. I planned that one in advance, and then we didn't have anything to happen.
Oh, I
Hello, Chris.
just real quick,
Oh,
I got
whoops.
information on the American Airlines. They're saying it's a technical issue preventing them from calculating the weight and balance of the planes.
I got
that's a problem.
Scale.
So
But
anyone
B,
weighing over 300, you
another
need to
reason-
step off the plane.
But my luggage would be 300. What are y'all kidding? I mean,
What?
you
It
just
would
don't
be.
know how I
It
fly.
would be.
Rayford, it's
I got
upsetting.
50 pounds, and I carry dive gear.
No.
Chris, help me out
Help,
here.
Chris.
You're going to tell me I'm on my own, aren't you?
No. You know, when I go on an airplane, I don't even take a total of 200 pounds. But personally,
Mhm.
50
I
for
weigh
me.
175, and I take a duffel bag for a trip.
There you go.
Mhm.
You know, when you go to like Bonaire or somewhere, one of those countries, what more do you need? You need a swimsuit, a pair of shorts,
Uh-oh.
flip flops, a couple of shirts. You're good to go.
I got sandals. I got 3 bathing suits because, I don't like to put a wet bathing suit on when I get back
Yeah.
in the water.
Yeah. I
And a
don't
couple
want
of
that.
T-shirts, and I can
Mhm.
throw the other you can buy T-shirts there, 3 for $10 and just chunk them.
Let's
I
go.
mean, they're junk, but you can buy them. That's what they're fair for. But that's what I carry. But that's the clothing. Now, the other part is the dive gear itself. And we're not talking about tanks. I mean, a regulator is heavy. The BCDs are heavy and, things like that. So I've got 50 pounds for 2 people in one big bag.
That's not bad.
That's not too bad.
No.
Okay, for fun, Kelly,
Yes.
how much luggage do you really need for a trip?
Would you believe I take one suitcase? If I'm going to Ireland, it's one suitcase.
It's
That's a big one,
It's
though.
18
She
feet
knows how to
long by
pack
4
it.
feet wide.
I just take, things.
She knows how to
Yeah.
pack it.
It's
That's
one
right.
suitcase. I don't travel with a whole bunch of. I mean, I'm not going on the Titanic. They used to bring you see these
That's
movies,
why it
all
sank.
these things. Yeah, well, no, I take one suitcase. It's my big. I have a big purple suitcase.
I went through.
On the Titanic, if the captain had ordered them when they started having problems, throw all that luggage overboard. then they would have stayed afloat.
You're probably right about
I
that.
remember getting to the airport and they said your luggage, it was a 50-pound limit. And I was like 8 ounces over, something like that. So I took out a pair of tennis shoes and put them in my backpack and I was fine. I mean, I'm like, serious.
But now if you just pay extra, they'll take
Yeah,
your luggage.
$35 extra.
Now I've gotten, sometimes they'll do mine for free. They just feel sorry for me, I think, and keep on going.
They don't
But
want
yeah.
you to hold up the line taking something out.
Oh, I'm not going to take nothing out.
Oh.
How much is it going to cost? If it's in that suitcase, I need it for some reason.
Okay, Chris, help me out here with some
Yeah.
old logic that we used to use. If we took some bladders, some heavy duty bladders, right, and filled them up with helium and put them in our luggage, would that not make it lighter when it got to the scales?
What's a bladder?
Oh, it's like a big balloon.
Oh, okay. I know what you're talking about.
Sure.
Okay. All right.
I can tell you what a bladder
if they
is.
would,
Yeah.
not that kind of
Jesus.
bladder, but if they would design a bag, see you guys out there in the design industry, if you would design a bag so that all around the edges of it, you could fill it up with helium before you take off, and the whole thing would be lighter. Might even float through the cabin. No, they wouldn't do that, but
Oh, goodness
if you could
gracious.
just lighten the load like that.
That's ridiculous, Rafe.
I did see on the news that some people are being very innovative in their ways. They just wear lots of clothes.
Yes,
I'm
that
not
too.
doing all that
They
either.
just wear it.
Multiple layers.
You don't get weighed. You don't get weighed.
They don't care. They do, but they don't weigh you.
They don't weigh you. They weigh your
Thank
luggage.
goodness.
That's it.
So wear all
Oh,
your
goodness.
wear all your heavy clothes.
I'd hate to have
on
to
the
strip
plane.
down at the airport, be weighed.
Don't do like a buddy of mine did. He carried his dive weights in his carry-on backpack. Oh, he got challenged at the airport.
Oh,
I thought he
bet.
thought he was going to have to leave them there, but they let him fly on it was some shady airlines that we flew on one year. Intel or Introlate or whatever it was out of Charlotte. Won't do that again.
Well, going to the story that Lee just had sent to Kelly about American Airlines. What was interesting is last night they did a news story about American Airlines because of some of the issues they're having.
Mhm.
They have these little trackers now that they'll put in your luggage for free so you can track your luggage.
Yeah.
The same time that they're having these technical issues. They can find your luggage. They just can't get you on a plane to get you from point A to point B.
Well, coming out on that same air, we got delayed leaving the island, and then we were very late getting back to Charlotte. Had to drive back from Charlotte, which was okay, not a big deal. We were coming home. Got back home, I didn't have any luggage. They didn't know where it was. Several days went by, and I called. I even called down to Curacao, the hub, and they didn't know where it was either. But they said it'll be there soon. And I said, well, I've got one concern. How long can an iguana live in my luggage? Why?
I know they hated you.
Oh, they
They
started
hated you.
talking their language, and I didn't understand a word of it. But
They were
anyway.
hating you. They're plotting your death.
Doesn't
That's
it
what they
just
were
bother
doing.
you though, real quick, is when somebody else is talking another language and you're someplace and you know they're talking about you.
Well, she couldn't
know.
speak English anymore. She just got all
She's so
excited.
mad. No, she
was
wanted
excited.
to plot against Rayford. Didn't want him to know.
Like going to a nail salon.
But then the funny thing
Mm-hmm.
was the luggage, when it finally showed up here in Jacksonville, like we were due back, we came back on a Saturday, but luggage arrived like Thursday. It had left, made it to Miami, up to Jacksonville, Florida, back to
course.
Curacao.
What?
Yep, back to Miami. The tracking thing
Why
was
couldn't
on,
it have just gone? Okay.
and then it
I
made it
can't.
down to Curacao again. Then it
Just
came
can't.
back and ended up in Charlotte. Got on the U.S. Air flight to Jacksonville, but it took all those number of days to do that.
I understand.
Unnecessary. Unnecessary.
We have
Yeah,
never flown that airlines
somewhat
again, and they're now out of business. Incel Air is what it was. Okay, what did we got? We got.
That's all
sorry.
these people. That's why everybody's driving now to get
Yeah.
to wherever they're going for Christmas.
Yeah, well, for Christmas is fine, but trying to drive to Bon Air is a little rough. My car, my Jeep doesn't float.
Yeah, you couldn't snorkel that far either,
No.
I reckon. So,
Yeah. And the boat,
Anyway.
it uses way too much gas for that trip.
I love your array of subjects this morning. I'm just waiting.
We're everywhere.
We're just everywhere.
The guy at Pennsylvania Avenue, he's doing more weird stuff
Oh, man.
on his way out than he did while he was actually in.
Mm-hmm.
So he finished his 79th out of a class of 85 to be an attorney.
He's at 85 in my book.
Well, he's an 85, but somehow there were 6 people that were worse than him.
There's
in that
no
class.
way that is, Chris, I hear you. There's absolutely no way after this whole
The others failed
community
to take a
sentence of
test.
these scums of the earth, there's no way that's a fact. He's got to be the worst, number 85. He has to be.
On the multiple guess test that they gave,
Uh-huh.
he did what they are told to do. He picked C for every one of them that he didn't know. And the other people didn't do that. They tried to answer it right, and they got it wrong.
Well, I want to know what the other 6, Chris, how worse were the other 6? What did they do that was worse than what he's done?
They're in prison.
Dads were big donors to the college.
You know what is sad about this? About the whole thing is very sad.
Mm-hmm.
The National Biden Corporation, otherwise known as NBC, interviewed one of the people that he commuted their death sentence, and his comment was, "The first thing I did was call my family, so they were very relieved that I was not going to be put to death." And my comment to that was, "Too bad that the victims' families can't say that."
Correct. That's what I'm saying.
Nobody goes to ask
I
them.
agree.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure they weren't
it's
asked.
But I think everybody realizes the reason he did it. He did it because President Trump said he was going to get it moving forward again.
Yep.
But so what? Good.
I would do 3 a day.
Yes,
do
get
3
rid of
the
them.
first day when he gets in office.
Why is Joe Carsanev still sitting there filing his appeals and whatever?
Yep.
Why is little Dylan Roof,
That was
Let's be-
2015, I think, wasn't it?
Sarnev was
2013.
2013.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
so
think
we're,
Roof, I
yeah.
think Roof was 2015.
Yeah.
So it's over 10 years for these
Why?
guys.
Why?
Well, and now the 3 families that the 3 people he did not commute,
Mm-hmm.
the Boston bomber and the 2 churches, their families are now upset because their family member didn't get.
Oh, boo-hoo, you didn't treat him our guys fairly.
Well, Joe Carsanev's family, most of them are not even American citizens, and I don't care what any of them think. Dylan Roof's family, same site. Don't feel for y'all either. Like, too bad, so sad.
But, these people. Some people like to leave legacies. Here's his legacy in my book. So he,
Raspberries.
the illegal immigrant,
Oh,
he set the sleeping lady on the subway.
oh my God, that just
on fire.
oh
Okay, he was already deported once.
yeah,
Back
and
to
came back.
Guatemala,
Yes.
and snuck back in.
Mm-hmm.
The guy's not right. We all know he's not been
Mhm.
right since.
Well,
he's been in the White House.
let me just ask you this. Would it do not know how legal or what the legalities could be if it could be determined that he, at the time he pardoned his son and definitely pardoned all of those other individuals, 1,500 of them, was it? And then commuted all these death penalties, all these death sentences. If it could be shown that he was incompetent to be president at that time, could all of that be taken back legally?
Great question. Right, which I know Chuck Henry is probably one of the few attorneys around here that was able to argue a case in front of the Supreme Court.
Mhm.
That's a great question, Rayford. I don't know the answer. I'm not that smart. That's a great question because everybody knows he's not.
Yeah, if a lawyer, if a court makes an unlawful ruling and finds somebody guilty, and that's overturned because it was an unlawful act, right? If let's just say that there's a defense attorney who, like that TV series, was really not an attorney, but he was posing as an attorney and he was trying cases. Remember that series? Was it Suits or something? Whatever it was. If that is found to be the case, every case that he had would be overturned.
It's a great question, and maybe somebody from our I'm not sure if anybody in the legal department's working today in Onslow County, but maybe an attorney.
Let's just boil it down to what we all hear about on a regular basis. If during an appeal process, an attorney, a defense attorney, is ruled to be incompetent, did not do his job properly, then that case is overturned automatically, right?
Yeah.
He did not have a competent attorney. We do not have a competent president. So anything he's done, at least since he pardoned Hunter, he was incompetent. And none of that should be allowed. How does that sound? I could argue that before a judge, I think. Probably get away with it until they kick me out.
No, I don't think he'd kick you out.
Anyway.
Okay.
I've been kicked out of better places, let's put it that way.
Yeah, well, that's what I say about country clubs. I wouldn't belong to one that would have me as a member.
That's me.
Yeah, so, but on some good note, once again, to you three.
Let's go to the good stuff.
Thank you from the bottom of my heart. We started December 15th, 16th, actually, calling into the show about restarting for 2025 Wreath Across America for our Coastal State Veteran Cemetery. I can't even give you the emotions I felt when I came home from church yesterday and went on to the Wreath site that we have started. And there are already 105 wreaths.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm looking at your site right now.
Yeah.
Oh, I've got some to purchase. Don't worry.
Oh, we got some to purchase. We all got some to purchase.
Oh, yeah. You three, your blessings as well for doing that. Some people have actually, and I'm not going to embarrass their names, and I want people to take this for the right reason. I'm going to say it. One lady bought 20 wreaths.
Nice.
One lady bought, I believe, 30 or 12. So anyway, so those equal, right now it's, you donate for $34 and you're donating 2. And through that, you're going to get 5. And it's just amazing, the power, of this show, and the power of the Facebook messages that people are sharing that I've asked them to share to all their friends. It's just, this county can do it. This county really can do it if everybody would just, and I know it's Christmas Eve. I understand that. So,
well, there's still plenty of time.
There's still plenty of time, but even after Christmas, Christmas Day, as we get closer to next year, we only have till the 17th to take advantage of this.
Yep.
5 for 2. That's what I want to get the word out to people. 5 for 2. Do the math again. That's less than $7 a week.
Yeah, that's better than the BOGOs you get.
Beautiful. Yeah, I went and visited Dad the other day, and it was very beautiful. If you, from a distance, you look at the wreaths, it looks like they're all covered. Then you start walking,
Yeah.
and you see the ones not covered.
That brings something to mind, Chris. Aren't they picking those up on January 13th?
Mm-hmm.
And they're looking for anybody who wants to volunteer to go out and help pick them up.
Yes. So, because then they're taken to Possumwood Acres. But, I guess if people wanted to take theirs personally home for some reason, they could, I guess.
Yes, they can.
But,
You'll have to throw them away sooner or later.
Yeah, I've done that before. When I've
Yeah,
gone out to
I mean,
help clean up the cemetery, I always took Dad's home with me and just had it for
Oh.
a couple more days.
No, that's fine.
yeah, it's very touching. But I just wanted to thank you three. There's two mediums, or three if you counted Facebook, but I don't want to count that. But you folks, live and local real talk. Every day you give me the opportunity. At times you get me come on the show live. And Morgan Starling from the Daily. That's been the only mediums that thought this was worth mentioning to our county, and for you folks around the world. You three are angels in my book. I appreciate everything.
I hope not yet. Angels are dead, right?
Well, okay. You're walking future saints, maybe.
There you go. Thank you.
What?
But you three are very community minded, and I thank you for that. And folks, I wish each and every one of you a very Merry Christmas.
And to you,
Happy
Chris,
New Year.
thank you for
I
what
thank
you're
you three for
doing.
everything.
Yes.
Well, thank you for what you're doing here. Somebody's got to spearhead this operation, and that's you, designated
thank
by
you.
whoever, and all of us for sure.
Yes,
And
thank you.
next year's even going to be bigger and better. We're going to push hard. You can push hard. I know you will. You'll continue doing it. But the advantage right now, folks, and we'll talk about that right after Christmas too, is this 5. You donate the price for 2, which comes out to be $34. You donate for the price for 2, and you're going to end up getting 5 shipped. Now, you go to the store, these stores that offer these buy one, get one free, or worse than that, buy one, get one half price. But buy 2 or donate 2 and get 5. That math is a whole lot better than the BOGOs, okay?
I agree.
And next year, hopefully, the ceremony, Lee, we'll talk later about it, because there were some things missing, sadly, from this year's
I agree.
ceremonies,
Right.
which was taps. Taps was missing.
You need
I thought about
echoing
that. I
taps.
said something about that the other day.
You need echoing taps. Oh, that would be so pretty.
Yeah,
That's so nice.
Because usually the way it goes is colors the colors are retired.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's taps. Then there's a thank you, and then boom, start going to the grave sites. But that's in the past. I'm going to the future, and the future is 7,000 wreaths for the Coastal State Veterans Cemetery. And with this show and the daily news and everybody passing the word along to their friends, it'll be done. I guarantee it.
Here's the challenge. Here's the challenge for all the commercial interests in the area. If this one lady bought, how many did she end up getting? 20?
Mm-hmm.
She bought 20.
If she donated for 20, then if she can donate for 20, every business in Oslo County should be able to donate for 20, correct?
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay.
Like Chris and I have been talking about this, and what it's going to take is somebody, which Chris is doing, is actually out every day or every other day, going to businesses, going to organizations saying, hey, you cannot wait till a couple months before the event
It's too late.
to grab. Now, I know there are other veterans organizations here in Onslow County that during the summer, during the spring, during the fall, they will have a special fundraiser just for Wreaths Across America, which they end up donating that money,
Which is good, but
which is very good. But
Well, clearly it
doesn't
wasn't if we
always-
didn't have enough. So I'm going to say it. Clearly it wasn't good enough if we didn't have enough graves covered.
well, Chris is now in touch with an excellent person, Kevin Yates. He called into the radio out of New Bern, Craven County, that
we can work
worked very
together. They'll get
hard,
it done.
yes, to cover all the graves at Craven. So I think that Chris is doing a great job, making great headway.
Do they have one in New Hanover County for the National Cemetery there?
They do, cover that,
Okay.
yes.
So I wonder if all the grave sites were covered there.
No clue.
I can find out and let you know after Christmas. I just will say this: many of the cemeteries throughout the United States didn't reach. Of course, Arlington does,
Right.
Many did not. Kevin did a great job in New Bern for Craven counties. And we're going to get there this next year.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, put it in the books like we've talked about snow in January and February.
Yep.
Put it in the books that I said there will be 7,000 if that's what they need at our cemetery next year.
Yep.
One way or the other.
I agree with
Let's
you.
roll.
There'll be 7.
Let's roll.
But and just to let them know, because I know they listen, Jacksonville City Council, Onslow County Commissioners, I will be coming and asking you for money for this.
Yes.
So
individually,
right now is the time, y'all, because they're both preparing budgets. We need to have
yes, they are.
it needs to be a line item in their budget this year, and it should not come out. And I think our legislature also should be doing the same thing.
I think the deadline's March 30th, Chris. There's a form you fill out.
Oh, he's going to be done before then.
So yeah, I
Okay.
think the deadline's March 30th. Don't quote me, March 30th, 31st, but there is it's March.
Yeah.
I know that.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Kelly, for that. But yes, challenge all of them, especially do it individually too. The county as a city, who often in their meetings will go, we are a military community. Everybody remember that. We are a military community.
When
Yeah,
the sign
that's what
says,
gets
welcome to
me.
Jacksonville, North Carolina, home of Camp Lejeune.
That's what gets me.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Wake
like
up.
the yellow
Well-
ribbon. How many people put yellow ribbons up on their house during October? No. How many people put the green lights on their house during November? This is military community. We had a
Yeah.
green light up here.
We did.
We had a yellow ribbon.
Yeah, we did.
Come on, people.
I'm going to let other people comment, but I just want to thank everybody that's done it. I also have a thank you page that I will put you on there, but I'm not going to embarrass you and go, so-and-so donated this many wreaths. I'm just going to say thank you to everybody that does it.
It's nice.
Donate
And
what you
again,
can. If you're good with that, donate what you can. If you can donate for 2 wreaths right now, you can donate for another 2 wreaths in 2 weeks, maybe on payday
That's
or
something I'll try
whatever, or
once a
another 2
month.
weeks after that.
Well-
Then you get it all done by the 17th, and let's see, that's 2, that's 5, that's 15 right there. Then you do it again, and you may not get the 5 for 2, but donate it like that throughout the year.
Went to McDonald's yesterday.
Yeah.
For 2 people, it was $18.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if the
there's
wreaths
one
are
wreath.
$17, that's one right there.
Yep.
So people cut out a McDonald's run once a week,
Get yourself.
and just think of how many if you're spending $18, and then the wreaths are you get a couple for $17. There you go, right there. No excuse, none.
Yeah, there's excuses, but no reasons.
Well, that's true too.
Thank you.
Chris, Merry Christmas to you,
Merry
sir.
Christmas to you.
You and the wife, mate, you guys have a good one.
You too. We'll talk after Christmas.
You got that? You take care.
Take care. Be careful and have a great Christmas.
You too.
Thank you.
Marine forecast brought to you by Community Prevention Services of Jacksonville. It looks like it's getting a little bit darker out there. Christmas is the
Looks
time for
cold.
us to come. We're here to celebrate the birth of Christ, a time of joy, a time to reflect back on the good things we enjoy, a time to be thankful for our health, our families, and our friends. And don't forget those first responders out there. As we know, that is our goal. And it's unfortunate that too many of us are lost in our little worlds, unsure of the present or the future. If you're one of those unsure how you're going to deal with tomorrow, next week, or next year, there's help out there for us. People who can help with what you may see as a dead end. The counselors at Community Prevention Services are professionals. They have extensive training, a lot of experience in the field, and most importantly, they have a sincere desire to help. You can feel confident that your conversations will never be revealed. They don't talk about them. You might want to know that Community Prevention Services also accepts most insurance plans. There should be comfort in knowing that this is a locally owned and opportunity, no out-of-town ownership or board of directors involved. Everything is located right here in Jacksonville at 918 Henderson Drive. That too should give you a peace of mind. You don't have to drive to Raleigh, Asheville, Washington, D.C., Greensboro, Wilmington. You got to go nowhere but right here on Henderson Drive. Everything is in Jacksonville. Give them a call to set up a time to meet. They're closed this week. They'll be open Monday and Tuesday next week, then closed for Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And then they'll be back in full swing after the first of the year. give them a call. Leave a message on the machine if that's what you want to do. They will call you back. Community Prevention Services, 910-353-0972. That's 910-353-0972. A weak area of low pressure is developing and will move along the North Carolina coast this Christmas Eve, bringing rain and deteriorating marine conditions. Is looking more and more miserable out there every hour. Will then rebuild into the area through the remainder of the week. That will be the good news. Offshore, though, out to 20 nautical miles, small craft advisories in effect through Wednesday afternoon. Northerly winds 15 to 20 to 25 this afternoon, gusts up to 30, seas 3 to 4 feet, building to 4 to 6 later today. Near shore seas 2 to 4. But remember, to get to those near shore seas, you got to go through the inlet, and that's gnarly at best. Mm-hmm. That's the way the surfers call it anyway. Sounds and rivers choppy, becoming rough this afternoon. Patchy fog developing in the afternoon. Santa's going to get that root off. He's going to light his nose on fire, no doubt about that one. Tomorrow, northerly winds 15 to 20, gusts to 25, seas 4 to 6, 3 to 4 near shore. Sounds and rivers choppy. To Thursday, northerly winds 10 to 15, seas 3 to 4, 2 to 3 near shore, looking less worse. Sounds and rivers a moderate chop.
Today, according to this, rain between 9 and 1, but we'll see. Yeah. Oh, now it says mainly between 9 and 4. They changed it. Okay, so every hour it's changing. It doesn't look like it's raining yet, but it just looks cold.
It's not 9 o'clock yet.
That's true. High today is only 47. Yikes. Tonight, according to this, cloudy. Low of 32, but just remember, if the rain comes later, there's potential for things to be a little bit icy. So I'm just saying, I didn't say snow, I said ice. Tomorrow, sunny, high of 55, a little bit windy, 8 to 11 mile an hour winds with 17 mile an hour gusts. Tomorrow night, partly cloudy, low of 30, and then on Thursday, sunny, high of 56. So. Did you know that NASA has, I've been watching because I don't know who comes up with this stuff, but so the Parker Solar Probe at 34 this morning or 6:47 was 6:53 should have flown by the sun in the closest, it was supposed to be a record breaking, the closest passage to the sun yet.
How close?
And it says it will be 3.8 million miles, which is 6 kilometers. Yeah.
That's 90 million miles from here.
And they said that the flyby was supposed to have occurred at 6:53 this morning. However, because they have to cancel their communication with that, they won't know until the 27th if it actually occurred. Yeah. They're thinking, yes, it actually did happen.
I forgot. So, I'd have to do the math again, but the sun's 93 million miles away from here. When the sun comes up in the morning, it's not where you see it.
Right.
It's already up higher. It's already gone way beyond it because the light from the sun and all light travels at 186,000 miles per second.
Well, I hope
so. To go 93 million miles, it takes, I think, 7 minutes.
And this will be within 3 miles, 3.8 million miles of the sun. Oh, and they say this should be and will be the closest it will ever come. And apparently there's 2 more
probes.
No, this probe is supposed to do it 2 other times, but this will be the closest. Though, like I said, they will not know until the 27th. If it actually happened.
When did they launch this sucker?
Well, let me tell you.
I figured
it's been out there a while. But in 2023, good old Parker smashed a record. It hit a speed of 394,736 miles per hour. And they said it cemented its record as the fastest object ever built by humanity.
394,000
an hour. Now, for it to have made its little thing this morning, it would have had to been traveling 430,000 miles an hour, which now it would have
be a new record.
It would be a new record, and so
wow,
yeah.
Well,
So, and they won't know till the 27th when they get their little data back if it actually occurred.
Steve, what's the fastest you've ever driven or
It's
flown
not
or
that.
whatever? How fast have you ever gone?
Fastest I've ever driven was 113 mile an hour.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you've been on an airplane, right?
No, I haven't actually. I've never flown.
Really? Okay.
Really?
There are a lot of folks like that. They're
You're
the
not
smart
missing
ones.
anything.
But 113. Okay. Well, you know, this little bird up there that's approaching the sun 3.8 million miles away. It's already traveled over 400,000 miles an hour. Got you beat a little bit there, Bubba.
Yeah. If a satellite leaves the Earth at 8 a.m. traveling 22,000 miles an hour,
Yeah.
sounds like one of the math questions.
That's pretty much. And don't forget, it's got to stop at Bubba's stand to get some lemonade.
Look, as long as
3
Santa
minutes and
stops
12
and
seconds.
visits our stranded astronauts tonight, that's all that matters.
If we can get a satellite to go all the way to the sun,
Yeah.
93 million miles away, and not burn up, why can't we get those two astronauts back here? They're what, a couple hundred miles up?
Don't worry, Santa knows where you are. Santa will get there. God.
Santa would need oxygen
Oh,
up
you know
there.
what? Santa, the radar's up. Hold on. let me
Yeah,
look up the
that's
Santa
right. I was
cam.
going to look at it and put that link on.
What's
our
on your
page.
mind, Steve? You ready for Christmas?
I am. We had our family party last night, and then we
Okay.
got the immediate family party
Santa
tonight. So, yeah, it's a lot of fun. A lot of kids. A lot of excitement.
You got a lot of kids. You're going to have excitement.
Oh yeah, for sure. But main thing I want to call this morning just to wish y'all a Merry Christmas
And to you, sir.
all the
Same.
other listeners and callers, and Theo and Chris and all y'all. I enjoy listening to y'all all year long. I appreciate y'all.
What's your favorite Christmas song?
I'm torn between Silent Night,
Silent Night.
Oh Holy Night.
That's
like them
my
both.
favorite. Oh, holy
like
night.
Well,
that.
how about giving us about 15 seconds of Silent Night?
Yeah.
Since you were a singer.
Silent night, holy night, all is calm, and all is bright. That cool?
That was
Such a
nice.
Deep
job.
voice.
Yep.
That was nice.
Excellent job.
Thank
Give
you.
me goosies.
That's with me shivering out here in the barn too. So
What? You've been banned to the barn after the Christmas party? Is that what you said?
Yesterday was just noise in the house, and I come out here because all the walls are carpeted, and it's a
I
much
hear
more
you.
I got it.
environment for sound.
Well, that's good. Thank you, Chris. Chris, thank you, Steve.
Thank you, Steve.
Call me what you want. Just call me for dinner.
Yeah, at least 3 times a day. Right. Gotcha. You have a good one, sir. Merry
All right.
Christmas to the whole
Merry
family.
Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Thank
Now
you.
we have Drew on the phone.
And Drew's going to rub it in just a little bit. Here, it's on the outside. Here in the studio, it's 36 degrees down there in my.
It's 67 here. It's cool for here.
Yeah, we don't
But he's
like
got
you
a
at all. You
sweater
know that.
on.
Mhm.
Were you expecting snow or anything?
No, we are expecting rain in Christmas.
Uh-huh.
87% chance of rain in Christmas.
Yeah, well, we're probably going to get some today, but it looks like it anyway. Hopefully tomorrow it'll all be gone. All this mess through the exit, and there will be no snow.
Y'all were talking about losing luggage before, and I was where I couldn't get to the phone. My cousin got her PhD in Spanish literature, and she studied in Spain for her PhD.
Uh-huh.
And on the way back from Spain, she checked her bag with all her research in it, and
Uh-oh.
they lost it.
Uh-oh.
Ooh.
At
Uh-oh.
the time, her father was vice president of a bank, of Citibank, in New York. And I guess he knows some people because he made some phone calls, and they found it within 12 hours in Hong Kong.
Hong Kong or
Hong
New York?
Kong.
Oh, wow. My goodness.
Hong Kong. So she got it back. But I go, this has been 50 years or better. The whole family still asks her, why would you check a bag with a year's worth of doctoral research in it?
No, I would not have done that. Good gracious.
No.
I mean, I don't even check my dive regulator with an attached computer. I carry it in my backpack along with my laptop. It stays with me,
So,
flying.
well, I hope you all have a Merry Christmas.
You too, Drew.
You
Merry
too,
Christmas,
Drew.
Drew.
Merry Christmas.
Cardinals did very well. They
Yeah.
made it all the way through 4 rounds, and unfortunately, I know you stayed right there. You
Yes,
stayed
he
with us.
did.
So
Yep.
anyway,
He monitored.
we'll do it again next year.
Okay,
All
take
right.
care.
Thank you, Drew. Bye. I'm having a problem getting names out this morning.
Yeah, I
Look
do
at
that every
Lou,
day.
Drew.
You got to leave soon. Don't forget.
I know, 1:45.
Okay.
I got
Just make
6
sure you
minutes.
hadn't
I'm watching.
forgotten.
Oh, I
Okay.
haven't forgotten.
So, Kelly, where's Santa at right now? She's tracking him.
Santa, just hold on.
Has he launched yet?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Santa's been
'cause
busy.
you know, it's Christmas and summer.
Well, I
yeah.
know.
Okay, Santa is currently, well, as of a little while ago, let me update this. Give me a second here, because he was at the now
Well, in parts of England,
he's
it's
on his way to
1:49.
Australia. He's in Australia because he was seen in Daru, where that is. Yeah, according
Down
to
under.
this, a few minutes ago, he was at Daru. And I know I'm probably not even remotely saying that right.
It's down
Robin,
under.
are you listening?
Yeah. So,
I have no clue either, Kelly. I don't,
Yeah,
I
I'm
don't
just-
do well with country
but he's already
names.
done Antarctica.
Oh yeah. How many
And-
kids are there?
There was
We-
a few. There's some adults that they felt like needed some Christmas.
Is that what it
We
is?
put the
Yeah.
tracker on our social media today.
There's a lot of
so-
adults on the nice list, and there's a lot on the naughty list. Just saying.
Mm.
Yeah, I was going to wear my tie in here this morning, but I did not.
So right now he's in Australia. Yep, he's about to go hit Sydney. He was in Brisbane. He's now about to hit Sydney, Australia.
Okay, well that's good.
And he's already, according to this, he's already delivered for the children that are tracking 900 million gifts already
Yeah.
so
Wow.
far today. Like, because it's nighttime other places. Yeah.
Yeah, it's already been.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I've got some local Jacksonville news that
Let's
we
hear it.
want to be able to say congratulations to a
Yes.
young man that's been in the studio many of a time. But the city of Jacksonville has hired 2 new assistant city managers to take over in 2025, and Anthony Prince was
Oh,
one
Anthony.
of
Oh,
them.
good. Yeah.
But Edward Terrell Blackmon, Henderson City Manager, and Anthony Prince, Jacksonville Director of Transportation Services, will begin as Jacksonville Assistant Managers in January. Congratulations, Anthony.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, we always enjoyed him on the
Anthony's,
show.
Anthony's good people.
He's a nice guy.
And his bulldog is nice out there in front of the transportation building. He's got a really cool bulldog. So
There's a student in second grade in Mesa, Arizona. Notice that his friend, this is Thomas Corley, notice that his friend at the lunch table in school was choking on a grape. Second grader to the rescue does the Heimlich maneuver, and it's caught on video,
No way.
Oh,
school
wow.
video.
Wow.
He popped that grape right out, blinded 3 people. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, God.
But he popped the grape right out, and the kid was fine, no problems.
He does, Robin.
This video is amazing.
Oh, wow.
Just to look at it.
That's awesome. Good little kid.
Like the second grader that called 911 in the school shooting last week.
yeah.
Thank you, parents, for doing
Yeah,
such a great
absolutely.
job.
And then the high
teaching
schoolers
you.
who tracked down that guy to
Yes.
set fire, they
Yes,
identified him. They
they're the
recognized
ones,
the picture, and
yes.
they called him the popo, and they rounded his butt up. So anyway,
Right.
Merry Christmas, Robin.
Hey, Merry Christmas, guys. I just wanted to call and wish you all a Merry Christmas.
Thank
and,
you.
Happy New Year. Hope you guys have a good one. It's been a pretty good year, and looking forward to 2025, new beginning, new fresh start, and we'll go forward. Just
Absolutely.
Be safe out there today. And enjoy your family, enjoy your friends, and just remember the reason for the season. As we celebrate the birth of Christ. And again, I just wanted to wish you Merry Christmas. I'm really happy and proud of you guys and what you do and what you bring to this community. And I just wanted you to know it doesn't go unnoticed. And thank you very much.
And thank you, Robin, for being on the county commission and helping take care of all of us out here who do need the services that you guys oversee.
Well, the
So-
biggest thing is letting us know what's going on, too.
Yeah, that too. So we know how to deal with it. Transparency, and more transparency. Look for another year of all of this happening again.
I think you'll see it. You'll
Good.
see it. You'll continue to see it. And, we serve you guys, and it's our job as commissioners to keep all of you informed, regardless whether good or bad. And that's what we try to do. And I think we've been more transparent through the last several years, and I look forward to it. We'll continue to do such.
All right.
I think we have a good board.
Sound like a winner. Robin, thank you, sir. We appreciate it. Have a good one.
Thank you, guys.
See you later.
You
Bye.
too.
All right, I'm going to take my leave. I'm going to get my buns up and go see a doctor and see if I can come back tomorrow. Was it Thursday?
Thursday. You can come in tomorrow if you
You
want
come,
to.
but you're gonna be in here by yourself.
We'll be watching you from the couch.
Well, I'll be okay. I'll call you.
Well,
Okay.
I won't answer. Oh,
Yeah, you
We could do a New Year's Eve.
what we ought to do. We all come in here and
Look at
stay here
Kelly's
and,
like-
and drop.
no.
It all across the entire country. You watch it on the east. No, we could start out there in Ireland first and watch it drop over there, and then follow it across the entire continent of the
about-
United States, all the way
That's
across.
about what it felt like
What
on
do you think?
election night.
Want to do that?
No,
Why?
I just don't.
Well, whatever. All right, and you guys up there have a Merry Christmas, and we'll all see you. They'll be here for another 10 minutes or so, but I'll be gone, and I will see you on Thursday morning.
Mhm.
Well, we will always be awake because I stayed up until 3:30 this morning.
You
My
beat
wife-
me.
My wife started watching. I started watching a show. She got hooked on it.
What were you watching?
Agency, something like it's
Agency
it's
is with Richard Gere.
I don't know who's with. It's
Yeah.
British thing. I don't think it's that one. It's another one. I'll get the name of it.
That was
Oh,
good. Yes.
312. I
good.
racked out.
You need to let me know when you start Landman.
Oh, I've already started
Okay.
that. Oh
Yes,
my
I
god!
told you that is an amazing show.
That's much better than
It's
Yellowstone.
going
Oh,
to
it
take
is
over
so good.
Yellowstone.
Oh.
Left us all.
I agree. That show is amazing.
It's got sleeves with class.
Oh, it is. Billy Bob Thornton is absolutely.
him.
I love him too, but this
There
role
is-
was written for him.
There is nothing.
Y'all be safe. I'll
he
saw you
hasn't
later.
played. All right, Rayford.
Oh, he's
well,
awesome. Yeah.
have fun.
Say hello for me.
Yeah.
I've been seeing him twice in the last 2 weeks.
Now, Billy Bob Thornton, there's nothing that and I just watched a movie, Armageddon, that he played in. Last week I was watching
I
that.
love that movie.
It was really, really, really,
Yeah.
really good.
Mhm.
Oh, so I've just been reading. Have you ever had an issue and you've gone to a party and then you're trying to find a way to get out?
Yes.
I was just reading this article about how to get out of Dodge without being rude. And so they've got some methods right here. And I was just reading it. So I'm kind of blind reading it right now. But
Just fake some diarrhea.
Yeah.
Fake a stomach issue will get you out quick.
well, it says it's best to
Yeah.
leave the party while everyone is still having fun.
Mhm. Yeah.
And you just don't scoot out of a party without thanking the host. You know, you always, how you leave is just as important as how you arrive.
Well, I don't think you have to tell everybody bye. You'd find their host and say, I gotta go.
Always thank the
Yeah.
host. And if you go up to thank the host and the
Mhm.
host is engaged in conversation, then you stand back and wait till the host is available. It says don't be down their necks while waiting.
Mhm.
You know, so I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And weddings are one exception to the rule. As long as you've spoken to the bride or the groom or both
Mhm.
sometime during the event, then it's acceptable. You don't have to say goodbye to them again. You just scoot because you know
Right. Oh,
it's all
yeah.
about them. And
Well,
it says, don't
yeah.
leave a party too soon. This seems contrary to this person's advice. So you did not have to say yes to your host's invitation, but you did.
Well, what if you said yes and then something came up
Right.
after?
Therefore, you're required to be a good guest.
Define a good guess. I hear you, but what is the acceptable amount of time?
If it's a drop in that lasts just 2 hours or so, a 30 to 45 minute pop in is perfectly acceptable.
Okay.
It's long enough for you to chat with the host and celebrate the occasion. If an event has a start and end time listed on the invitation, you should expect to stay for the whole thing. I disagree.
I disagree with that.
The host has likely planned out activities accordingly, and to leave early would be a snub for their efforts.
Not necessarily.
Well, for a wedding, if you are unable to stay send off, you should at least stay through the dances and the cutting of the cake.
Well, it depends on how. Look, y'all know I've DJ'd thousands of weddings. I'm here
Right.
to tell you over the past 20-something years. Some people have, very quick timelines, and others, they will drag that mess out to guests. I've seen a lot of guests leave because they got tired of waiting.
So don't make a scene unless you are
Mhm.
leaving your own wedding reception. There's no reason for everyone at the party to be made aware of your exit. Save the trumpets and tears for your own affairs. Who wrote this thing?
Yeah.
Be respectful when trying to exit a conversation. Even if you're itching to get out of the corner you've been stuck in for the past 20 minutes, it's rude to let your eyes dart around the room, searching out other people to talk to. Instead, while you're having the conversation, be an engaged listener and an active participant. That doesn't always work.
I don't think he's supposed to be back in here, but it's raining outside.
Oh.
Look, he's at the door.
This is probably
again.
the door.
Let's
Your
see if we can
Robbie's
get him
here.
to go in there.
Capitalize on a lull in conversation. When you sense a lull in conversation, take that moment to politely excuse yourself. It's been nice catching up with you, but I'm going to refresh my drink. Thank the host. Try one of these delicious looking tomato tarts. Create the end to your conversation. If that anticipated lull doesn't seem to be coming and you've been backed into a corner for a far too lengthy amount of time, you can politely interrupt the chatty Kathy or talkative Ted with a gracious but firm closing statement. It's been so lovely chatting with you, but I've just realized I have to say hello to the host. Please excuse me.
People don't talk like that. Now, let's be real. I mean, what kind of book are you reading over
This
there?
is an
Miss
etiquette
Manners?
thing. Yeah. Yeah.
And I get it, but nobody does that anymore. I mean,
I know
yes,
it.
you should. I don't think, I think if you get to a party and maybe you
This
don't
is
know
Southern
anybody
living.
well, it says a lot right there.
Nobody does that in the
Nobody
South
does that
anymore.
anymore. And also, too, you get there, you may not feel good, that you may not like anybody there. I mean, there's like a whole bunch of things here.
How many political
So-
dinners have you been to?
Yes.
That you go in
Yeah.
and you're ready to leave as
You're
soon
like,
as you get
nope.
in.
So, and I don't think you should suffer and stress yourself out just because of an acceptable amount of time. I mean, that's gone by the wayside, in my opinion. I just feel like it has.
Yes,
So,
that's craziness.
yeah.
Craziness. So, Christmas Eve, you're
It's
already
raining.
everything done?
I've just got to go through my stocking stuffers to make sure
Yes.
everybody's got their stuff.
Right.
And then today I'm going to spend making like sweet potato pie.
Oh yeah.
My son-in-law loves my cannoli cheese ball, and he's requested two, one to eat tomorrow and one to take home. So I got to go do that.
Now, cannoli is the sweet cheese
Yes,
ball,
the sweet
right?
cheese ball. You eat it with like graham crackers or
Yeah,
Teddy
yeah.
Grahams or So I'm gonna make one for him to eat at the house tomorrow, and then one for him to take home.
Right,
Yep.
right.
So
That's very
it's a big-
nice. Very nice.
I mean, he gets that every Christmas, so he's like. he's
Now,
never got
are
one to
you
take
a
home.
Christmas Eve gift opener or
No,
Christmas Day?
Christmas Day.
There you go.
Yeah, I don't.
See, that's what we Southerners
Yeah.
do.
Yeah, I don't do the Christmas Eve gift opening. To me, it's not Christmas. It's
I know
Christmas
it.
Eve.
I know.
I mean, we do the Christmas Eve like pajamas, like
Yes.
matching pajamas. My daughter hates my choice. I gave her hers yesterday because I won't see her tonight because she'll go to her mother-in-law's tonight. They do the mother-in-laws tonight with the siblings, and then tomorrow again.
Oh, yes,
in
yes,
the
yes.
evening again. But so I gave her Christmas Eve pajamas for our house because we wear them in
Aw.
the mornings to open and stuff, and she was not pleased
I
with my
bought
choice.
I bought a brand new pair of Christmas pajamas for myself. They're traditional black and red checked.
Oh, ours are candy cane, red
yeah.
and white stripe. They're silky. They're
Oh.
cute, and they were actually for last year, but they were ordered online. They came
Right.
late, so we had to switch what we got. So this year, I saved them all through the year, and I gave her hers yesterday, and she's like, seriously. They look like a candy cane. They're red and white stripe, and they're super cute. But she's
Yeah,
not pleased.
I've never done that before, but I thought, no, I'm going to
do it.
buy a pair of pajamas
Mhm.
and just stay in them all day.
Yeah, I mean that's what we do, and we take pictures, and yeah, it's a thing. Well, the men don't so much, but all of us girls
Right,
do. So
right.
even my grandson, he's like, Mom, she told me, Mom, please do not get him any pajamas because he's got a lot. So okay, he don't care.
Yes.
He just wants his
I
presents.
understand that.
Yeah.
That's great.
So, But yeah, today's just the last minute. I got to make a food line run. I hate to
Good
do
for
it.
you. I know.
I tried to get as much as I could, but I realized I didn't get the cannoli cheese ball stuff and the stuff for the sweet potato pie. I don't know. I was so
I
set on
love
everything
a
else.
good sweet potato pie.
Yes. Yeah.
Pumpkin pie I love, but sweet potato beats it out every time.
I'm telling you, and I made one at Thanksgiving, and I need to make 2 because clearly one wasn't enough, so I'm going to do 2.
Right. That's good. That's good.
It's always a good thing.
And you're having ham?
Ham, and then Megan always makes me do. She likes the beef tips in the crock pot with the cheddar cheese soup mix and Lipton onion soup mix and cheddar cheese soup. So that's for her. But the rest of us eat ham like normal humans. So yeah.
Well, I love ham. I have a neighbor down the street that every Christmas he brings me a spiral ham.
I got a spiral ham, and
so nice.
And I'm glad I got it early at the Lion, because when I got there was only and I bought it, I don't know, a week and a half ago, maybe 2 weeks ago. Yeah, and there was only 6 left. Now maybe they were going to put more out. I don't know, but I learned a long time ago not to wait till the last minute for a ham at Christmas.
So you're going shopping the day after Christmas?
No, I never do.
I don't either.
I doubt it. I usually don't, because I don't feel like it's just too much tomfoolery going around. So, and with the way drivers have been lately, I'm cool. I'll probably take my Christmas tree down. I don't leave it up. It just makes me sad because it's over. So I'll take
I know. I almost took mine down the other day. I was just, I don't know. I don't do it until
after Christmas.
I
put mine up the 1st of November. It was up and it looks amazing. And I'm going to miss it. But once Christmas Day comes, to me, it's just over. It's like a letdown.
Well, I think a lot of mine is having a new puppy in the house too.
And how is said puppy? Mr. Paco.
Paco is crazy.
Well, how old is he?
They say he's a year, but I think he's about 4 or 5 months.
Oh, he's puppy.
Oh, well, I kept trying to figure out every time I came in the front door why there was torn up stuff all over the floor. He can get up on the coffee table. And I had this thing on my coffee table where I would put mail or something in. As I walked in, I sat down and I just, set the junk there. And he was actually getting up on the coffee table, stealing everything. And then I would find clothes all over the house where don't leave anything hanging off the edge of the bed. He grabs it. He is just
awesome.
He is so funny. And he jumps like a kangaroo, not like a dog, like a kangaroo. And he is wide open.
Has Jack adjusted to him?
Yeah, Jack's adjusted. Now I got to take Jack to the vet Thursday because he's been doing a lot of hacking and sneezing. And I'm not really sure what's going on.
He don't have kennel cough, does he?
Well, see, I wondered about that. He's not been anywhere, but yet I brought dogs
Paco in. Yeah.
Yeah, but Paco's fine. And he's had all his vaccinations. He was neutered. Everything is fine with Paco. But I'm just like, something is not right with Jack. You can tell when your dog doesn't feel good.
Yes.
And so I got an appointment as soon as I could get in Thursday. Of course, if anything happens, I will take him to an emergency vet.
Oh, absolutely.
I got to look at.
Love Jack.
Oh,
yes, you absolutely have to. Jack,
yes.
Yeah, we can't have
you too. So. But I'm going to tell you, that little dog, Paco, I can't decide if he's part Chihuahua or part Dachshund, but he definitely has the rat terrier, because he looks identical.
He does look like Jack.
Yes, but
you lucked out.
Yeah. Oh, you talk, and that dog is so attached to me. Right now, I'm watching my sister's dog too. That Paco will not let that dog anywhere near me.
I love it.
Oh, he's So Oliver has to sleep on his doggy bed while Jack and Paco are in the bed with me. Paco will not let him in bed.
Paco said, "This is my lair."
Anyway, so that's about it. But I hope everyone has a wonderful Christmas. Stay safe, please.
Stay safe. Look,
don't argue.
I saw a lot of driving yesterday coming back from Rockingham County.
But even when I got to Jacksonville,
I mean, I saw 2 wrecks as soon as I got into town. I saw yesterday evening, my daughter and I had to run to the store real quick. And in our 30-minute jaunt, we saw about 4 or 5 cars run red lights. I mean, seriously, and so finally towards the end, we'd come to a light and we would just stop. I would count to 3 before I went, even though light was green.
I always do.
Because
that's a good habit.
I saw so many people. I don't know if people just aren't paying attention. I think a lot of
In a
people are in a hurry.
Mhm.
Christmas for some people kind of, I think, snuck up on them a little bit this year, which
Yes.
is weird to say, but I don't know. And
It did.
but there's just a lot of nonsense driving going on. So I would suggest to everyone, please take your time. Just
Yes.
you'll get where you got to go.
And if you'll notice, if you've got somebody that's driving like an idiot, which there's quite a few of them out there, and they're speeding around everybody and they're weaving in and out of traffic, wait till the next stoplight. You'll be right up next to them again.
I agree with that.
I mean,
Yeah.
what?
I know. I don't understand it. And if you're going to Christmas Eve dinner tonight, because it's a tradition we have.
Right.
And thank goodness where we wanted to go. Last year closed early, but this year they're closing at 6. So I'm very Marrakesh.
Oh,
That's
you
what
love Marrakesh.
My
I know
mother
that,
likes
yeah.
doing that on Christmas Eve. And last year we couldn't do it because they closed like really super early. But Robin claims he called and they told him 6 o'clock. So I will be upset if
Robin,
go
you better
there.
be right.
Yeah.
I hope you really call.
yeah, because Mama will not be a happy camper. So
Yes.
and I want my
Oh.
mama happy
That
too.
sounds good. I'd
Yeah.
like some egg rolls and fried rice.
Oh, that sounds good too.
Yeah, maybe I'll go out later this afternoon and pick some up.
Yeah, that's a
Take
good
a-
thing. But we always
yeah.
try to do a Christmas Eve. I never cook on Christmas Eve because I'm cooking on Christmas Day. So we always do a go out. Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
I don't blame you.
Well, and then after that, we ride around and look at lights. It's our
Yes.
thing. We took my grandson the other night. There's a lot of cool lights.
Yes.
So, lot to do. So,
Very
anyway, and it
nice.
should not be raining unless it's raining now, but unless the weather forecast, and y'all know it does its
Right.
own thing. So,
Right.
it may or may not be raining this evening, but if it is, be careful because it will be 32 tonight.
Well, for all our listeners, we want to
Yes.
wish you a very Merry
We
Christmas.
do.
Thank you for keeping up with us and following us and commenting on our post and calling in. We appreciate you. Merry Christmas to all.
Merry Christmas, and we will see you on Thursday.